Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Hi, I am Proful. With me, Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Proful.
Yeah, today we'll discuss about real-world speech. We'll have some casual discussion, and Jason will critique me and help me to improve my conversation skill. So, Jason, can we get started?
Absolutely. So always glad to be here, Proful. Definitely want people to understand that we're going to go over your speech patterns so that you can learn methods of improving your common interactions with people in the real world. Now, this is a critique, but not a criticism. And I will be tearing apart what we're going to do. And then I'm going to go over it and rebuild it in a proper speech pattern. So let's say for today, I would like to talk with you about your dinner last night. So I hear your wife is a wonderful cook, and I'm wondering, what did you guys have for dinner last night?
Yeah, sure, Jason. Yes, he is. He's a very good cook indeed. Yesterday we cooked rice with dal and chicken curry.
Okay, well, that sounds good. So you had rice with dal and chicken curry. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it. We usually prefer to eat rice in our eastern part of India. So sometime we eat chapati or roti. I'm not sure whether you are aware of those or not. Do you like Indian food, Jason?
I do. I like some specific things, I guess. I definitely like curried lamb, and naan bread is amazing. So a good garlic naan and a nice lamb curry, and I'm pretty much in heaven.
That's good.
Okay, well, I'm going to start sharing with you here. I just wrote down some points of what you had said, and I'd like to talk to you about it. Now you see here when I asked you about your wife cooking, you said, yeah, sure. Yes, she's a very good cook indeed. Yesterday we cooked rice with dal and chicken curry. So not too terrible a sentence. Typically, that's not a good way to start a sentence with the yeah, sure. You could say yes, but not yeah.
Okay.
Or you could just start with sure.
Okay.
You don't actually need to have that in there, but let's say you did. So you could say yes. I would take the sure out. And you could say, in fact, we could pretty much, because you had followed up that with a yes again. So we can actually take the whole start of your sentence out of it. Let's do that. So you're going to say, yes, she is a very good cook indeed. That's a good sentence. You can also, if you want to be just a little bit more casual, you can hyphenate and say, yes, she's a very good cook indeed. And then follow this with, yesterday we cooked rice with dal and chicken curry. Not too bad. You want to put maybe a little pause in there, slow it down. Conversationally, yesterday we cook rice with dal and chicken curry. Now this is a tense problem, as we discussed the last time about tense for when events take place. Right now, when you say we cook, it seems that you're implying something that's happening or about to happen. But what you want to do is that past tense. So you want to say yesterday we cooked rice with dal and chicken curry. Now you have a proper sentence. That's perfect. There's nothing wrong with this. It makes me a little bit hungry. So let's see. Now the other one I took down was sometime we eat roti. I hope I've spelled it right, but I probably didn't.
Yeah, H is not there, but all good.
Okay.
ROTI. That's fine.
ROTA. Okay. Let's change
ROTI.
that.
ROTI.
ROTI.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So again, this is not too bad, but it's that tense problem again. So you have sometime we eat roti. Now, from time to time you're eating it. So you actually want to put sometimes we eat roti instead of sometime, because that's more of a tense in which you might want to imply that you may wish to do so later. So instead, if you're using sometime, you might say we want to eat roti sometime, as in is coming down the road in the future. But with the S in place, it changes the tense so that you're saying that from time to time you eat this dish. So now try this sentence and this combination of sentences with these changes.
Okay, let me give it a try. Yes, she's very good cook indeed. Yesterday, we cooked rice with dal and chicken curry. Sometimes we eat roti as well.
Excellent. So how does that feel to you?
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Okay.
And a couple of things I thought, sorry.
No problem. I was just going to say that you can actually refine this just a tiny bit more, because you don't really need to even say yes. You can just jump right into it. I'll say, I hear your wife is a good cook, and you would say, oh, she's a very good cook indeed.
So you added O in the beginning, I feel like.
Yeah, it was just sort of a little bit clunky and a little bit extra that didn't really contribute to your sentence.
Yeah, but that's a good way to add it. Oh, sis. I'm not sure. You are putting less emphasis on that. Oh, I think. Oh, she's a very good cook indeed. Is that like that?
She's a very good cook indeed. Yeah, that's a simple, straightforward sentence that gives you all the information. We're talking about your wife. She is, that the sentence is evidential. It proves the yes, so you don't really need to include it. When you're saying she's a very good cook indeed, you're agreeing with the initial statement. And at the same time, you're reinforcing it in a very clear and concise, short sentence. She's a very good cook indeed. That's all you have to say. And then you go on. Now you're getting more into detail. Yesterday we cooked rice with dal and chicken curry. Great. Nothing to change there. I think that's great.
Yeah, two things I notice here. Cooked, right? It won't be ed. I think it is t. The way you usually pronounce it, is cooked. Ed will become t sound, right? Because we sometimes pronounce it does sound, d as in dog. Did you notice that?
So yeah, that boils down to accent and a little bit of personal choice. It's actually common in a lot of our area where it's a T and it can sound a little like a D. One of them, as I recall, I took linguistics class, and our teacher had pointed out about the word button. However, it's common when people are talking fast and casually that you'll actually hear them say button.
Yes.
Almost a D. So that's not what I'm trying to teach you. I don't want to teach you my terrible accent, because then you'll sound like a Canadian and confuse everybody. But yeah, exactly. So if you hear the D, yesterday we cooked rice with dal and chicken curry. Try your best to pronounce that D. I may not have noticed that I didn't. So that's definitely a thing about accents for everybody. We don't necessarily hear our own accent as we're speaking.
And one more thing, the way I can hear your T sound in roti, And my T sound in roti is a bit different, like roti, ta, ta. Can you pronounce it roti again for me?
Roti.
Yeah, the T sound sounds slightly different. Are you able to notice it? The way I pronounce T, roti,
To me,
roti.
it sounds like the R is different. It's not so much the T.
Okay.
I hear when you say roti, it sounds roti. You're putting a little bit of a tongue roll into there. That's at least what I'm picking up. Does that sound right?
Yep, yep. Yeah, R and T both, I think, a little bit of slight problem, but we'll get into it.
Not a problem. So we can continue if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Let's say you're making conversation. This is a good little area of small talk and just making speech patterns that are going to be casual. So let's say now you've met and you've talked about your dinner. Next day, you might talk about work. What did you do at work?
Yeah, today is Saturday, so it was weekend off today. But yesterday on Friday, we did some work. I'm a developer myself, doing some programming or coding. So kind of boring and monotonous work at this moment. On Friday is not very enjoyable because we're waiting for the weekend to come.
Okay. I didn't catch this word. Yeah, you said Fridays, not something,
Enjoyable.
and
Enjoyable.
enjoyable. Okay, sorry about that. And he said we were waiting for the weekend to come. So this is common. This is good common speech. Most people, by the time you hit Friday, you're sick of the week, and you're waiting for that Saturday so you can relax, right?
But how to better way to put it? If if you want to articulate the same sentence, how would you want to put it?
Absolutely. So this is slightly run on if you were writing it, but this is common enough in regular speech where you're formulating your thoughts as you talk, and everybody does this. So you said yesterday on Friday. Obviously, if you're writing it, you would just start out with on Friday and not have the yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it doesn't matter for common speech. However, I would flesh it out, I guess, and maybe try to relax a little bit more. So, I would say, it was Friday yesterday, so we did a little work, but not much, because I was waiting for the weekend, and maybe I have plans. Why was I waiting for the weekend? What's happening on the weekend? Or I'm just, thank God it's Friday. I'm happy to have a chance to relax tomorrow. The weekend's here. There's lots of approaches that you could take, and they're all acceptable. And this is still acceptable. It's just a little bit stilted, if that makes sense.
Yep, perfect.
Like, this was not terrible. It just it doesn't feel completely relaxed and natural.
Yes, I can also feel that same way.
Okay. Any other questions on it?
No, sounds good. I have to practice the way you frame your sentences, but it got the message.
Absolutely. And there's always consideration. There's one thing in particularly speech, less in writing, of slang. We use a lot of slang. We cheat a little bit when we talk. We use local social forms, and we integrate it into our speech patterns. And so it will technically not sound completely correct. And in fact, it will not be correct if you were to be worried about it from a technical English form. However, it would be common usage and acceptable in society for a conversation. If you talk like they do in textbooks for perfect English, people are going to find it's a little bit off-putting and a little cold. Does that make sense?
Yep. I think I'm from Australia at this moment. So here also the slangs are pretty common and a bit confusing for me to comprehend sometimes.
Absolutely. And so that's part of it, is finding out what is common locally and try to familiarize yourself with it to help you integrate and be more accepted in conversation with people you don't know.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I think this is a good basic introduction to the flows and patterns and the rules between written speech being just a bit different from real life speech.
Yep.
Hey, well, thank you so much for having me, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jason. I really appreciate it. Have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.
You too. Take it.